Hello Taurus, I got a late start today, so this is going to be your general reading for June 2024. The messages are general, so please check back to your moon and rising sign. You can, if you want to book a reading with me, you can do so by going to the About box section of my channel, and there you will find a list of the reading packages, the number of minutes, the number of questions, and the delivery method. And simply email me at this address, hiddenlotustarot@gmail.com, and I will email you back. If you contact me and you don't hear from me in about 24 hours, please check your spam folder, because spam usually, my emails usually go to spam. Okay, so I have with me the Radiant White deck, the La Vida Sibila for clarification should I need, and we will be wrapping the reading up with the Psychic Oracle Tarot. If you give me a minute, I'm really not tolerating the medication well that I'm taking now, and I don't think there is any other medication that they can give me because I have resistant high blood pressure. And so I've been through every medication in the book, and they keep trying different combinations to try and get my blood pressure under control, and nothing seems to work. So I don't know what they're going to do when I go to the doctor tomorrow. So let me turn the camera around and we will get started with the reading. I have done some premeditation and shuffling on your sign and glyph. This will be a 9-card spread, and we will see what the cards have to say for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising for June 2024. That kind of hurts my hand. Okay, let's cut the deck and we'll deal the cards. I can hear someone asking, why do I tap the cards like that? Since I can't shuffle them very well, this freshens up the energy in the deck. And so that's what I'm doing when you see me thump the cards like that. It creates an open energy. So let's deal the cards. 5 of Swords, I think that's too much light on that. It's hard to tell. There we go. The Lovers, and I will turn my camera off, my light off, because I think it's too much light on the table. Just a second. Let me see. There's plenty of natural light while the sun is still shining. And I tell you what, it's hot as hell right now. It's 100 degrees outside, and it's just May. I might have to turn it back on, but I won't do it right now. The third card down is the 4 of Swords. Next row, the Ace of Wands. the King of Wands, the High Priestess, last row, the Wheel of Fortune, the Six of Wands. I have 2 sixes, and the Hermit. So, what is over the whole reading? The general energy over the entire reading. We have the Queen of Cups. Let me take a look at what I have. I have 2 swords, 2 wands, and 4 major arcana, with 1 court card sitting in the very center. So let's start with the court card. Before I do that, let me explain to you the way the cards are read. Past, present, future. Past, present, future. Interplay of the cards. And in the center we have this King of Wands. He's a fire sign, which would be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. He is also considered to be the entrepreneurial king. I'm trying to start my there we go. Usually this is someone who has a lot of passion and energy, but he delegates a lot of his tasks as an entrepreneur. So typically you won't see him behind a desk doing something himself, although he will. He basically farms it out, everything that he does. That's a job description. Now, let me say that you can even be a female and be a King of Wands. So just because it's a male here doesn't necessarily mean that it's a male energy, unless I say so. And in one respect, it does feel like that. But if you say you are a female who runs your own business, you can show up like a king or a queen. Same thing with males. They can show up like queens or kings. It depends on what is going on at the moment. But this, I think, is a male. That's the energy that I'm picking up. And at the top, across the past row, what we're looking at is a 5, the 5 of Swords. And the 5 is always a changing energy. It's a time of ups and downs, some disappointments, arguments, fights, somebody talking bad about you. It's a tense kind of energy. And whenever I see the card, I always say it's like the 2 of Swords in disguise. The person standing in the front right here in the foreground has 2 swords over his shoulder. To me, that signifies that he either shouldn't have said what he said, or maybe he should have said what he wanted to say, what he did say. He's of 2 minds about it. And the 2 people he was fighting with have dropped their weapons and they walked off. So sometimes this card is about a victory. It's about standing up for yourself in a dispute. But you have to be careful with the energy of the 5 of Swords, because the people can stoop to any levels to win. We come over to the Lovers card. It's a 6 and it represents balance, harmony, and love. But most people think in general that the Lovers speaks about a couple. Well, that's true on one level. The couple can be it can be the kind of couple who have never had an argument. they are really in sync and the energies blend real well. And sometimes the lovers can represent a couple who don't get along at all. They fight all the time. Their energies are mismatched. But to me, the real meaning of the card of the Lovers is about choice. You have to make a choice about something in your life. And keep in mind that when you make one choice, the door closes on another choice. So you need to make sure that whatever you choose, it's going to be right for you, because this will have far-reaching consequences. Whatever this choice is about. We go next to the 4. 4 means it's a stable foundation, but there is inherent 3 of swords in the card. See the 3 swords right there? So that tells me that you've been involved in either a previous conflict with lots of people, or just maybe one person. So again, fights, arguments, disputes, messages that you don't understand, bad news, and someone has removed themselves from the scene. I call this the ghosting card. Ghosting. Ghosting. That's an effigy. It's not even a real person. So it's like you're trying to communicate with someone who's really not there. And the thing that is most important is that after he takes a break from all the argument or disagreements, he has another sword there that he can, it's a little spider, that he can pick up and start doing mental, hold on, oh, come on, I hate this. I'm gonna stop it and start again. I'll be right back. Okay, he can pick up the 4th sword and start to do battle again. So the swords represent thoughts, beliefs, perceptions, ideas, communications. Wands represent focus, determination, desire, passion. The wands do. The cups over here represent simply the emotional quotient, how you feel about the situation. The major arcana are your spiritual lessons in this situation. So we say there is a fight, arguments, maybe gossip and slander, either between a couple, or you have to make a choice. Maybe there has been some fights and arguments with other people, and someone has removed themselves from the scene, yet he is ready at some point to come back again and speak about it, or what he thinks about it. Here we have the Ace of the Ace of Wands. It is an ace, and all aces represent the potential of the situation. So you can expect maybe new messages to come in, new opportunities to talk about what happened, new opportunities to do something, but the desire is there. It says the opportunity for the desire to come in and feel you about the situation is there. But back here we have a 2, the High Priestess. Her main meaning is that you need to go inside to find out what the truth is, to use your intuition to glean what's going on. But it doesn't require that you do anything. Sometimes it's best that you don't do anything at all, but you can sit and think and feel what's going on. And sometimes this card speaks about an unknown female who hasn't surfaced yet. So maybe that's what the argument is about. Maybe you yourself have inclinations that there's another woman in the picture, but you don't know who she is. You may have an inkling, but she hasn't presented herself yet. This woman has the keys to the library, so whatever she's keeping, whatever secrets she's keeping, she keeps to herself. But she has a lot of knowledge about what's going on. And it's a 2. And 2s always represent choices, options, dualities, oppositions, like you being opposed within yourself about something, like being of 2 minds, or someone actively opposing you, like someone not talking to you at the moment. We come now to the Wheel of Fortune. And what that means is the situation is going to change. But it doesn't tell me how it's going to change. It just says the situation will change because the wheel is turning. And so the best way to handle a turning wheel is to affix yourself in the center. So that way you won't be thrown off balance when it goes back and forth. Here we have another 6 of Wands. And this 6 of Wands, basically the interpretation that it deals would work. But I want to say, I have a feeling that something is going to be announced. Like your name in the newspaper for something. But in terms of the work or your career, it says you finally reach the stage where you can be recognized for what you do. So it deals with promotions, rewards, awards, diplomas, something like that. But it's telling me that because it's a horse, again, the situation will move on. Okay? And it is implied a victory, but in counting on the victory of this card, if you look in the background, there are a bunch of people behind him. So it speaks to also leadership. So if you've been through a hard time with a bunch of people in your life, you should thank them. You don't have to thank them personally, but you should thank them because they are making the situation move along. They are creating change because that's a 5 of Swords behind him. A 5 of Wands. Fights and arguments. So maybe before you were butting heads with someone or a group of people. But hopefully you have cooler heads have prevailed and you can decide what to do next. And finally, we come to the 9 of Wands. The Hermit. He is a 9. And 9s are a moment of pause and reflection before moving on. It's a focus of completion of events. And in this card, we see that the Hermit is frozen. He's not moving. He's on a mountaintop. He's standing stock still. And he's in contemplation. He's in meditation. He's in isolation. He's not only by himself being a hermit, being a scholar, he also is a teacher. So this means that even though he is standing there trying to gauge what's going on in his life or deep contemplation, he can also tell you about it. He's holding the light in the dark so other people can come ask him, what did you learn from this situation? two totally different energies, but somewhat the same. The High Priestess and the because the general theme of the whole world here is going inside. Meditation, trusting your intuition, deep contemplation. So who is this Queen of Cups? She can be a female, but I think if you know about this situation, this just says somebody is all in their emotions about it. They're not really giving a whole lot of thought. So this is where the swords come in. In order to make the best decision for yourself, you can't let your emotions color your thoughts. If you allow your emotions to come in, it may cloud your judgment. So you need to get clear. Deal with your emotions and become clear about what direction you want to go in, or how is this going to play out, because you want to be ready for when the wheel turns. And to me, if it's about the King of Wands, it looks like he's going to become a single man, or he's going to live alone. So I think that there is a separation coming up, or maybe coming up, and it could be in a work context too, but I don't think so. This feels like a romance reading. So I'm going to take my book and look at, the only card I can't look at is the King of Wands because it is a court card. But I certainly can look at the Five of Swords, Four of Swords, Ace of Wands, and the Six of Wands as they relate to the lovers, the High Priestess, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Hermit. And tell you what other messages are in the cards. I will start with the Five of Swords. It doesn't say anything next to these cards, but here is a meaning. Although you may have been involved in a conflict, and the nature of the conflict is that no one will win, as the parties involved will sink to any levels to win. The result will be unhappiness and grief for both parties. A separation, permanent breakup of a partnership or relationship of some kind due to the choices made by another is implied. It may be telling of a breakup, severance, or a severance of an important relationship or partnership, and indicates the abrupt parting of ways. It may be warning of malicious gossip, or losing something or someone of importance to you, or some unfair dealings or theft. But it suggests that there is a need to regain one's composure before stepping forward and going ahead with plans. That's why I think the whole world here is telling you to stop and think about what's going on. The Four of Swords. Next to any ace, it indicates that some long-term goals or plans need to be reassessed and reevaluated before proceeding. Next to any ace, it may be telling you that although you may not be involved with any long-term plans or considerations, when they do arise, make efforts to check and recheck all aspects before proceeding, as some evaluations and amendments need to be made. Reevaluations and amendments need to be made. I'm so glad I have this book, because when I had my stroke, I just can't remember everything. The Ace of Wands. Be alert to positive offers in any form of communication. The Ace of Wands is a message to accept all offered invitations and to look out for a letter, email, phone call, fax, text, which heralds good news. Accept any invitations offered, whether it's social or work related. Remember, opportunity can come from any source. It's also known as the teacher of wisdom. Six of Wands. Next to the High Priestess, it indicates that a time is coming where you may be intrigued and interested in the metaphysical realm. It tells you that it is important to seek out more knowledge of the metaphysical philosophy. And I could say, on one hand, that may be true because this is a karmic card. And so this could be about karmic debts becoming due or having to be paid. Many times this card is considered like a twin flame kind of card. But I always tell people, twin flames are never romantic. It's never romantic. Okay? Or even a soulmate union can be very difficult. And the thing about that is, the other person that you're dealing with is a mirror to yourself. It's showing you some things about yourself. Maybe that you are not aware of. Or maybe that you do know, that you are aware of. You just refuse to look at yourself. So this is why I think that the whole row here says you need to contemplate. You need to meditate. You need to think about it. And you need to become very clear. That's all of the messages that I can get out of this spread like that. I'm going to go to the Sibyllus. And usually I don't pull a card on major arcana cards because they are your spiritual lessons. But I think everybody wants to know, well, who is this High Priestess? Is she you? An aspect of you? Or is she another female? Hopefully the cards will tell me, because it's obvious. The focus is on relationships. And maybe you're going through what people call a bad patch at the moment. But I see the wheel is turning and he's leaving, or he's marching to being a single man. Someone who lives alone, maybe. Prigione. He can't move. He doesn't have the emotional wherewithal to make a move. It's like he's chained in place. But this card tells you that there is a window of opportunity. There are 3 steps here leading up out of the basement. So the 3 steps that he can take. There is a banister on the wall for support. I know my cards are old. And the vase is for wisdom. What did he learn? The next card is the Kaza. So, in effect, this is telling me 2 things. Maybe he won't leave the home. But maybe it's saying there's something keeping him there as well. The Kaza, it's a house. It looks like an official building, so sometimes it can stand for banks and things like that. But the house is where you go to get away from your troubles. You close the door and becomes your sanctuary. And sometimes this card is about how you feel on the inside. Your feelings are housed and people can't figure out what's going on. And there's a conversation. So this is like Ace of Cups. It talks about just having conversations with someone. It doesn't mean necessarily, it doesn't tell me what kind of conversations. They can be positive, they usually are, or it just says where people gather around a table to drink and be merry. Just like a restaurant or something like that. Not drinking to be merry, but they gather around a public space to talk about something. I'm going to pull one more card on this Six of Wands. Simply because other than the horse in the reading, this is the only thing of movement that I see. The Consolante Sorpresa, which says it's a comforting surprise. In other words, like the picture, the guy went out fishing and he expected to catch fish, but instead he got a small bag of money. So whatever it is, it comes as a small surprise. Speranza, that says hope. And the card counsels to keep the faith as long as you can, because something is going to change. And it also says don't allow anyone to take what hope you have away. And that it's like a constancy. That's what's next. The perseverance, Costanza. So what it says pretty much is that the situation is going to take a long time, or it has been happening a long time, but perseverance is a key. Stick it out. Maybe this is not, he's going to be a single man. Maybe it's just that he needs time to think about what's happening. It doesn't tell me it's going to end in a happy ending, or that he will come back. But based on those cards, it's just saying don't give up hope. And maybe you will hear from him about something. Like a small gift. Maybe he will indicate that he's really not ready to leave. So two cards fell out, and they fell out just like this: wisdom and discontent and boredom. And I will read them just the way they fell. The first one is a 5. Again, 5s represent I didn't tell you, 2 6s. Remember I had the 6 of Wands and the Lovers. 2 6s tell of justifiable faith and trust in your partner. Justifiable faith and trust in your partner. I think these cards say that. And 2 5s mean a change a change. You may have been bickering with people before, but now things are new experiences. And 2 4s. Remember, I have that 4 and the 4 there. In fact, it's kind of like the 4 of Cups, discontent and boredom. And the 2 4s tells of a safe and secure time period. So you may be worried and feeling some kind of way, but just give it time. Let's read the card. Wisdom. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. This card illustrates that there is a spiritual teacher who is about to influence you or step into your life to impart his or her wisdom. Look around. Is there someone in your life who has the acumen, education, knowledge, and ability to integrate spirituality and its laws into the constraints of the physical world? This could be a compassionate person who offers guidance and inspiration and reminds you that you are much more than a physical being. You're also a spiritual being with unlimited potential. You may have also drawn this card to confirm that it's time to reach out and find an organization or group of like-minded souls. Like maybe the King of Wands. Being a part of a group where you can be yourself, share your thoughts, and get valuable feedback can infuse you and encourage you to be all that you can be. Kindred support helps you live life to your highest ideals, finding the true inspiration and enlightenment that's part of your own soul. Over time, the student often becomes a teacher. He's the Hierophant, and he is the Hermit. What I was saying, he may be standing stock still and not saying anything, but he can certainly tell you, if you approach him, what he has found out. That they're more in tune than the High Priestess and the Hermit. Over time, the student often becomes a teacher, so don't be surprised when others seek out and find you. The card of Wisdom is letting you know that you have so much to share, whether you realize it or not. And now we move to let me find a card. Discontent and boredom. This card signifies a time when you may experience stagnation, discontent, and boredom. Feelings of restlessness and impatience surround you. A relationship, project, or situation isn't moving fast enough and could be draining you emotionally and energetically. Remember, I said it's moving. I didn't say it's going to happen fast. You are looking for a change, and although one door may be closing, don't focus all of your energy on it, as opportunity will still knock. A window or another door could quickly open, and your attention and awareness is in focus. And if your attention and awareness is in focus, you could easily miss it. Watch for synchronistic events that bring books, speakers, workshops, and new people into your life. Any of these could possibly hold a message for you. Have faith in divine timing and know that everything changes for a reason. This card acts as a reminder that it's the perfect time to reevaluate and search within your heart and soul for fresh insights. That's what I have for you. Till next time, namaste.